Hi, guys.
Toni is putting on, styling a new costume, getting it all ready to go, and she'll tease that for you guys in a week. But for now, you are watching The Weekly Bleed with Brian Wise and Yvette Artiega. So apparently there is something to adjectives, and when I say that, I mean Skullkickers changing their name a while ago to Uncanny Skullkickers. Now apparently this issue 19 that just came out is their second highest selling issue. Yeah, second highest selling issue, just because they changed a word in their title. Now what do you think about that?
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact, depending of course on the store and how they arrange their books, if you put it under you, what it's gonna happen, you got Uncanny Avengers, you got Uncanny X-Force, and then all of a sudden you got Uncanny Skullkickers. And of course, you know, that's not in alphabetical order, but whatever. Anyway, you see all these Uncanny titles, and then all of a sudden you see Uncanny Skullkickers, and you think to yourself, hey, is this another Uncanny title that I need to be reading?
Could this be Earth 2 for Skullkickers?
Oh my god, is this another alternate universe? We need to read this.
No, it's not, but apparently they thought the idea was so good, and so did other people, that everybody ran out and bought this issue 19, and so now it's the second highest selling issue that they've ever done. So,
well, good for them, it worked.
Good for them. So, I mean, I guess, should every comic book be looking at this marketing strategy?
No.
Adding an adjective, like maybe embellished Superman? Is that an adjective?
Embellished Superman?
It is. I'm not a writer. I just live in my mom's basement. Professionally, I might add. She pays me an allowance to mow the lawn. Adding a new element, no matter how important, was good for the sales of Skullkickers.
It's a gimmick.
It's a gimmick.
All right, so DC Entertainment came out with this great free prestige format book that is coming out this Wednesday, May 8th. It's basically an essential guide to graphic novels, and it's got some really good stuff in here. It even has the breakdown of the whole like Green Lantern Rebirth, Brightest Day, Blackest Night craziness, that since they didn't number everything, everything was titles.
But and you know it's important. You know it's essential when the Justice League is reading the books. So they have to be essential. But we have a bone to pick, and Yvette, explain that.
Well, it's like I was saying to you before, that they've given a lot of people in this a lot of props, but the women of DC, not so much. They kind of crammed it all into 2 pages. They don't even list all the women of DC. Where's the Birds of Prey here? Where's, you know, Katana? Where's like all these other people that have come into play in the old universe and the new universe? Because this is both. It's not just the new stuff. And then all of a sudden, you turn the page, Sandman, even though I love this stuff, has got 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of just the whole Sandman series. I'm here for truth, justice,
and STFU Wonder Woman. Oh, where's my spotlight? Oh, sweet UV rays.
X by Dark Horse. It's actually a really good story. It's piqued my curiosity. Basically, it's about this guy who is kind of like well, not kind of, he is a vigilante. And he goes around the streets and he's basically cleaning them up, much like in the style of Punisher.
But he's scrubbing the streets with blood. The blood of all the people he's killed.
Yeah, I mean, even the innocent aren't really safe from this guy. Like, no matter who it is, he's gonna mow them down. But it's interesting enough where there's other characters that are involved. He doesn't speak throughout the whole entire book. You basically watch him work out and kill people until the very end when he actually does say something. There are other people that are involved. Like there's a young lady who's in here that kind of looks like a hipster chick with the shaved head and blah, whatever. But she's a reporter and she reports on the seedy side of life and basically trying to expose everyone that's involved. They end up meeting. I'm not going to tell you how they end up meeting, but they do end up meeting in a way that you're going to be like, oh my God, what's going to happen next?
Yeah, and I'll give you a hint. They don't make out, all right?
Shut up. I'm an up-and-coming journalist reporting on the seedy side of society.
And I'm a vigilante superhero. We could never guess.
So Yvette just handed me this comic and she's like, hey, read the first panel and talk about a hook. The first line says, if you had a it would be getting wet right now. And so to me that says, what's going on? And I mean, the panel is not what you think. The panel is an old-timey picture of a bunch of guys that look like they're in the mafia in an auto shop. Now, Yvette, tell me what you thought when you read that line.
I loved it.
Liked it.
I loved it a lot. I don't know what it was. It was all of a sudden, I opened up that book and I said, oh my God, I need to read this thing and see what this is all about. And basically it's a gangster story. The book is actually cut in half. The first half is a gangster story. The second half is about a record digger. So basically he's goes out and he tries to find records for a specific client that is for some reason weirdly connected to a certain album. But the first part of it with Ghostface Killer, holy crap. I loved it. Loved it, loved it. I never thought that I would like something like this, but I can't help myself and I can't wait to read the next one that comes out. Severed. Scott Snyder, Severed. Oh my God. If you've ever needed or wanted to read a horror book that was just something that would just make you feel creepy, this is the book for you.
Right, if you evered, severed.
Basically, it's about this young boy that finds out that his father's a traveling musician. He runs away from home. This is set during the Depression, mind you. And he's traveling the railroads. He makes a friend. This girl that he meets ends up basically teaching him how to survive on his own. But in the midst of all this, they end up meeting this older gentleman who says that he knows his father. Stranger danger! So that automatically makes this kid want to be this old man's friend. Little did he know, this old man has got some serious crazy.
Remember, if you see an old man walking down the train tracks, keep walking.
So if you love horror movies and you want to stay away from a superhero book and you want to read something that's new to you but older into the universe, pick this up.